Hey everybody, it is I Hope Giselle, and I am coming at you all today with a year. Yeah, it's been a year. It has been a year since I have had my SRS or my Vagina surgery, and I wanted to come and share all of the things, the ifs, ands, and the buts with you all, just about how everything has been going. And to be perfectly honest with y'all, there has been a lot, right? There's been a lot that has happened since January 28th, 2022, versus what has been happening today, January 28th, 2023. And I wanted to go through a couple of the things. So I gave you all like a 3 month update. I think I did like an 8 month update, and now I'm giving you all the year update. And to be perfectly honest with you all, first things first, I feel amazing. There's nothing about my vagine, my young lady, anything that I would want to necessarily change. I feel very confident in my surgeon, who was Dr. Jude Apoku, who practices out of Philadelphia and who is still practicing and who has been booked and busy. Thank you to all of my black and brown queens, all of my trans sisters that have come through. He definitely made me aware that y'all came through, y'all name dropped, y'all did all of the things, and I'm super, super excited about that. And I thank y'all for going and supporting, one, a black doctor, but two, just my doctor in general. Like, sometimes you get these reviews online and the girls will say one thing, but then stuff don't turn out how it's supposed to turn out, and so it feels good to know that everybody who has gone to him thus far, that sent me messages that said they went to him because of me, have had a really great experience, and he's had a really great experience working with you all over the last year. Without further ado, a lot of the questions that I've been getting, some of the questions that I still get, some of the questions that are going to be ever going and repetitive every single time somebody finds out that you've had the surgery as a trans woman, is going to be, does she self-lubricate? Do I get wet? Does everything kind of sort of like function and happen as it's supposed to? I will say, like, getting used to having a vagina has been interesting, because I'm not sure what's happening just because I have to get used to certain things that happen when you have a vagina, and what's happening because things are still fairly new. Like, I'm only a year in, and to be perfectly honest with y'all, I say like only a year in just because I feel like it's only a year. Like, there are so many different things that can change, and especially as it pertains to like surgery, like when you've had your boobs done and when you have a BBL or whatever the case may be. I hear so many different people on the YouTubes and in these YouTube streets talk a little bit about what that's like for them, and how like things just change and shift, and what you thought was going to be your end result ends up being something completely different 6 months from then, 2 years from then, 3 months from then, or whatever the case may be. And so even though I'm a year in, the one thing that I will say about that is that things are ever changing. Right after my surgery, I felt like I was in a place where, one, I didn't want to be touched down there, so I couldn't really explore the idea of whether or not I got wet. And then two, when I did start to want to explore, I didn't have any issues getting wet. I didn't have any issues like lubricating and all of those things. What I will say is that do not be like me. Don't be like me. Don't be a bad person. Don't be a bad girl. Don't be a bad woman. Listen to your doctor's advice. And I feel like every single time I watch one of these videos is somebody on the screen telling y'all not to do what we did, but for real, don't do what I had did, right? And so you're not supposed to have sex for at least 3 months after the surgery. I had sex somewhere around the 1.5, 2 month mark. And it's just because I had a thriving sex life. I had a very thriving sex life with my fiance, right? That's a different video. That's a different video though. That's a different video. Don't ask me in this video. That's a different video. So don't ask me. I wasn't married when I made the videos. I wasn't, engaged to be when I made the first set of videos. I'm engaged now. That's a different video. Leave it alone. Okay. So beyond that, we had a very thriving sex life before surgery and all of those things. And I don't think that any of those things changed after I had surgery, at least not immediately. And so what I can say is, like, those first 3 to maybe 4 or 5 months, I was definitely self-lubricating a lot. I definitely could not, keep on nothing if I didn't have on a panty liner. Like, I was running through panty liners like it was nobody's business. Shouts out to Costco for having the deals, because I was just running through them. I did not like I really had to get used to the fact that my body like makes secretions and cleans itself out and does all of the things. And contrary to popular belief, that a lot of people are going to be watching this video and be like, oh, you don't do, and yes, it does. Like, the same way that I think that natal vaginas do whatever they do to make sure that they're doing their thing, so does this little thing down here, okay? Like, let's be very clear, because if I'm being honest, first of all, the fact that I'm trans already puts me in a space where, you know, hubby be trying to shoot the club up. And then two, the fact that like this is a whole new feeling for him, at least as it pertains to me, you know, hubby be trying to shoot the club up. And so with all of the shooting of the clubs and stuff, like there's only so much that I can do regularly by myself without having to go in and do all of the things and get like a dish and all of this other stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, my doctor gave me a dish that I was supposed to use for all of these purposes, like right after surgery. And I did use it directly after surgery, but I stopped using it once I hit like month 6 or so, because I recognized that my body was rejecting materials that did not have any business being in there. So when I would wear my panty liners and things like that, I would notice that like I would see some of that stuff kind of sort of get on up out of there. And that still rings true to this to this day. Like every now and then, if I'm having sex, of course I do my due diligence. I hop right in the shower afterwards because I just don't like feeling the wetness and the slidey slide down there. But I also will, like, after I have sex, like, if I allow that to happen, I always wear my panty liner, and, like, clockwork, I can always count on, you know, the panty liner to do what it needs to do, or the vagine to do what she needs to do, so that everything can kind of sort of be regulated and all that stuff can be good. So one of the $1 million questions that I also get is about the smell. And let me tell y'all something. When it comes down to it, I do feel like the first couple of like weeks, months, I was getting like a little bit of a stench. And that wasn't even like a bad smell. It wasn't like fishy or weird or anything bad like that. It was just more so... It was more so like, I don't know. It was just kind of like musty. Like I had been out all day and kind of sort of just like navigating the world, and I was getting a little swamp crotchy, right? Now I don't have that issue because, you know, I'm either taking a shower twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. If I go out and I feel like things are giving what they're not supposed to be giving, then obviously like I take another shower. Like there's a bunch of different things that I do. One, like just as far as my hygiene is concerned, to prevent smells. And then also I wash my vagine with a completely different soap than I wash my body with. And I think that that helps to contribute to the things that, you know, kind of sort of keep me smelling fresh and all that good stuff. Now, there's a difference between smelling fresh, like I just got out of the shower, and my normal smell. And I think that at this point, I've been able to pinpoint what my normal smell is and what my normal smell will be over when something is wrong. Now, over the last couple of months, I will say that I haven't had so much as a yeast infection or nothing like that, but I did have a UTI. And a large part of that UTI was just because I didn't drink a lot of water. Like I feel like for me, I was spending a large part of the end of last year living my best life, which honestly meant like I was doing a lot of wine, I was doing a lot of alcohol, water in very like small spurts, but I was not drinking water in the way that I probably should have been drinking water. And so right around December, I completely cut out all of the things. I cut out all of the alcohol. I cut out wine. Like I cut out everything. And I know that I say I cut out wine as if it's not alcohol, but I cut out wine, God damn it. And so just so you know that there's a little something to it when I say I cut out all of the things that give me peace and help me wind down at the end of the day. I cut it all out because I wanted to make sure that I was doing my body right and that I didn't have any, you know, things that were throwing off the pH and all of that good jazz. And so as it comes down to smell, I don't have any, you know, particular scent that I feel like is just off or something that's funky or something that is alarming. Even when I had the UTI, I only noticed it because I noticed that there were platelets when I was going to go get my physical, I noticed the platelets in my blood, not my blood, but my urine sample. And I was just like, okay, it's giving, you need to drink water. So leave it to my fiance to tell y'all I don't drink enough water because I like to drink, what do you call it? I drink, Lord Jesus, it's escaping me. It's escaping me. It's escaping me. I like to drink, what do you call it, y'all? Mineral water, soda water, the fizzy water. I drink that, okay? And so leave it to my fiance. He will tell y'all that that's not water, okay? My fiance gonna tell y'all that that's not water, and I'm gonna fight tooth and nail, 10 toes down with him about the fact that it is indeed water, and it counts because that's the only way I'm drinking water. I'm just saying, like, if I were to sit back and drink like a bottle of water, the only water that I drink that is not like mineralized is Essentia. And this is not an ad. This is not sponsored. That's just my water of choice. And that's just, that's how I do with the water. But as it pertains to anything else, like when it comes down to it, I'm always looking for different ways to like incorporate water into my diet through different things like lettuce and celery and all of that good stuff. But to just drink a bottle of purified water or whatever, Essentia is that's as close as you're gonna get me to it. But most of the time you're gonna catch me with like a sparkling water of some sort, just because that's my jam. That's how I get off. That's what I like for myself personally. So that's just me. Other questions that I've gotten is, how realistic does it look? Now, a lot of people, like a lot of the girls that I know, like they stray away from this question. They like move away from the question. And I don't move away from it because I think that it's a natural curiosity. Like people just want to know what your vagine looks like. And there's a select few group of people that know what my vagine look like. And that select few group of people is my fiance. And honestly, only one of my good friends, like I don't even think my best friend, I don't even think I've like gotten an opportunity to show my best friend. My good girlfriend, Nick, she is the owner of Erotic Boudoir, which is a adult toy store, black owned, black woman owned. Shouts out to Erotic Boudoir. Gonna drop that right here so y'all can go shop. Okay, if y'all want some toys and things, I'm going to do a toy video as well. And all of the toys that will be featured in that video come from Erotic Boudoir. So y'all will be able to know like which toys are trans, neo, vagina friendly and all of that jazz. Because I did not forget that just because we're trans does not mean that we stop having sex. It does not mean that we no longer need it or deserve it or desire to please ourselves or our partners. So stay tuned for all of y'all who want to see more about that. But my fiance and Nick are the only two people that have seen my vagine. So when I say a small group, I honestly mean like those two people. And they both have given her compliments. like they both have given her compliments one way or the other. I've gotten really great compliments about her, and like, they like the way that she looks, and I like the way that she looks. I think the ultimate compliment is the fact that I genuinely enjoy, like when I look at myself and I look down there and I see how she's doing and all of that stuff, I'm just like happy. Now, what I will say to all of my girls who are thinking about getting the surgery or who have recently got the surgery and you're kind of unhappy with the way that things are, give it time, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna hold y'all. It's not as if I like had reservations about it at first or as if I didn't like it at first, but I will say that there were like moments where I was like, this doesn't look like the vaginas that I've seen in the videos. This doesn't look like the vaginas that I've seen on my friends. Like, this, give it time. Like, there were moments where I was just like, this doesn't look like the vaginas that I've seen on my friends or like the vaginas that I've seen everywhere else. But at the end of the day, it's mine. And also what I will say is that after a year, it's definitely looking like the vaginas that I've seen on my friends. And it's not because, I'm having sex with my husband, 90 going north or anything like that. It's just because as swelling goes down, as all of those things start to like, gather themselves together, everything starts to come together. So like you're not gonna walk off the table, at least not in my case, and I would assume that in most cases, you're not gonna walk off the table looking at this thing like, okay, Miss Thing, she's giving biological. Like she like, you know what I'm saying? Like I think that it takes a while, and especially depending on how your body heals, how your body moves, how often you check in with your doctor to get like little things that you may overlook, but your doctor may not overlook checked out. I am the queen of call that man, okay? Like my first couple of months and stuff into the vagine, baby, I did not mind calling Dr. Apoku. It was given very much so call that man. If something didn't feel right, smell right, look right, I was like, call that man. Because look here. There was something about the idea of not knowing what's going on with this entire new piece of my body that did not settle well with me. And so anytime I had some sort of dysfunction, discomfort, misunderstanding about what was going on, baby, you best believe I was calling that man. And I advocate for all of the girls who are getting the surgery, be those people, be those girls, be those patients, because at the end of the day, that is what our doctors and our healthcare physicians are there for. After the surgery, it does not mean that their job is done. In fact, I feel like that's the most important job of the surgeon is after the surgery to make sure that I know that I have somebody that's in my corner that is going to be helping me through this process and not just like kind of sort of like, oh, I got my money, I collected my coins, and so goodbye, fly by night, do whatever you do on your own kind of sort of time. And the thing that I really loved about Dr. Jude Apoku is that he is not that doctor. He is the doctor that's like, call me 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, after the soccer game, during my vacation. I may not respond, but during my vacation, call me. And I love anybody who is going to advocate for their work in that way, because I feel like that to me is the most important part of being a physician and being somebody that I can trust, is not only knowing that I can trust you for, you know, my surgery date, but also knowing that I could trust you for aftercare, which is a huge thing for me. And I really, 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 really like thank him just for being available for that. Also, the number one question that I get is, how is sex, right? How is sex? How does she maneuver? Like, what is she doing? And what things work? So one of the most interesting things that I found about my body that I thought was really interesting was when I took my fiance on his birthday trip to St. Martin, which we'll be doing another video about real soon. I would say that would be linked up here, but I'm probably going to edit that one after I'm done with this one. So just wait. The St. Martin video was coming for his birthday, but I took him to St. Martin for his birthday. And just on a whim, like I bought one of those pink pussycat pills, because I will say, as a sidebar, kind of sort of like also encompassing of this, is that my libido has gone down tremendously. I already didn't have a huge libido to begin with, so it's not like I was one of those girls that was like trying to fuck 90 going north to begin with. But I will say that like my libido after surgery did decline a lot. So much so that like I rarely ever really want to have sex. I kind of have to like really be in the mood mentally and physically, which is something that I'm not used to, but something that I'm very happy about. Because for those of you all who don't know, who can't relate, for the women who have never, you know, been through the experience of also being, you know, a man, like I feel like the wind could blow the right way and a penis gets hard, right? It doesn't matter like whether you like the person in front of you or you don't, or there's like all these caveats. Like honestly, as long as the penis is being stimulated, the penis is gonna do what the penis is gonna do. Whereas what I found out fairly quickly is that with the vagina, if you're not turned on, ain't no show for nobody, right? Ain't no, oh, we just gonna make it do what it do. Ain't no, she gonna just get wet as the Niagara Falls just cause he's here. Like, ain't none of that. There is no faking it once you got the kitty cat purr. Like, there's none of that. Like, and I like that. I like that because it also forces you to be honest with yourself. Like, I think that having a penis sometimes puts you in this awkward position where you feel like if the other person wants to go, you kind of have to go, because once again, like I said, if the wind blows the right way, a penis is going to get hard. And this is for anybody with a penis that is watching this, whether you're male, whether you're a trans woman, whether you're a non-binary person. Like, I think that y'all understand me and y'all are hearing me real loud and clear on this one. It kind of sucks sometimes when you genuinely don't and you're not and you just don't feel like performing, but because this appendage is kind of sort of speaking for you because it's erect, like there's very little that you can actually do. And that really bothered me, right? That bothered me a lot. And so I think that now having vagina forces me to be honest, because she's not going to be wet. She's not going to, do her thing. She's not going to puff up. The blood ain't going to rush to that area and surround the legs and all of those things. And if you know about, anatomy and vaginas and all that, then you know what I'm talking about. But for those of y'all that think that it's just the labial folds, then y'all missed that one. But anyway, like there's a lot of different things that like happen when I'm aroused, and when I'm not, that just doesn't happen. And so it kind of forces me to advocate for myself and just be honest with my partner and say, like, actually, I'm not in the mood tonight. Like, actually, my head is not in that space. And it's because rather than like letting you see it or getting you to the space where you're like, okay, well, why is she not doing what she does any other time? I can just advocate for myself and say, like, you know what? Let me just be honest with you before you even go down there and embarrass yourself or think that there's something wrong with you. I'm not in the mood. And I feel more empowered to say that because my body is also aligned with that. And so it's not like I have to explain to somebody like, who's sitting there looking at me stiff as a fucking board, and I'm trying to explain to them like that doesn't matter. That's going to happen because that part of me likes being stimulated, but that does not mean that I want to have sex. And so now the one thing that I do like about sex is that like I can just be my own self-advocate, and she helps out because like she be like, I'm on clink clink too, sis. I'm with you. Like, what you want to do? Tell him I said no. And I'm here for it, and I love that. And that's just a really dope thing that like I enjoy for myself as far as sex is concerned. But as far as sex is by itself, depth is fine. Without telling y'all too much, we're good in that department. And so I don't have any issues being able to accommodate him in that department, but it does like, I do feel some type of way some days because I have not dilated. I've been having sex with my partner, and that's, my only sex partner right now. Well, for the rest of my life. Well, outside of my dildos, because I like to think of my dildos as my sex partners too. I like to think like I got little names for them and whatnot. And in my little video that I'm gonna show y'all, like y'all gonna see, I got little names for my. So I feel like, you know what? It's not like I'm cheating on my fiance with my toys, but he's in the mix. They in the mix, okay? They are in the mix because I got Rayshawn. That's my little blue toy. Y'all gonna meet him. Rayshawn is cool. Okay, Rayshawn get the job done. Rayshawn is that piece of trade that work at like, the car wash, but he owns the car wash. So low-key, he don't work there. But like, Rayshawn is that piece of trade that's going to get people together when you walk through and they clock that you one of the girls. You know what I'm saying? I like Rayshawn. He's my little blue number. I like him. And then I got like a little brown number. Got a little purple number, Everybody got their place, but Rayshawn is my favorite, So if I have to say, like, my current sex partner, this is going to be my fiance and a little Rayshawn, okay? Rayshawn is my little blue dildo number, okay? And they get me where I need to go. And I don't have any issues, but, like, there are some days where, like, if I haven't had sex in like a couple of days or so, I do feel like depth is a thing that I'm like always fighting to retain. I have a very good depth amount, but like they say, like it's either use it or lose it. With this, you are constantly working out that muscle. You're constantly trying to thin things out so that you can go deeper, so that you can accommodate more from your partners. And that was the thing that I was worried about. And that's the thing that I'm constantly always worried about is the idea of like, am I going to be able to facilitate my husband for the rest of my life? Like, am I going to be able to make sure that he's pleased? Am I going to be able to make sure that he's good? And I honestly, like, I'm always stressing about that because I never want to not be able to please my husband, ever. Like, I never want to not be able to please him sexually. Let me say that, because some shit he gonna have to suck it up, bitch. Suck it up, buttercup. You know what the fuck? But, like, I never want to be able to not please him sexually when I want to please him sexually. So that's been, like, a thing that's been heavy on my mind. And then beyond that, there's just like, you know, as a woman, you want to be able to say that you put it down. Like, you know, I want to be able to say I put it down, and I'm going to be able to take the dick riding classes and do all of the things and not have to worry about like how much I can facilitate and what I can and can't facilitate and all of the things. And so those are things that definitely get me down sometimes, like when I feel like I've slacked on like the depth that I can get, but like I haven't lost anything or like anything substantial. I had a checkup with Dr. Apoku in November, and I'm due for another one probably next month. So I will be back and I'll check in with y'all and let y'all know a little bit about how that is. As far as, cause a lot of y'all ask questions about like just what I did after surgery and like how long it took me to feel like myself. And like some people even ask like, is my walk different now? And I'll say definitely. I'll say that like my walk is different just because I'm more confident in who I am. My walk is different just because I feel like, you know, everything is kind of aligned and everything is good and everything is great and all of it is doing what it does. And I'm super, super excited about, you know, just like the journey from here on out. And a lot of the folks who are watching this are probably some trolls that are like, you mutilated your body. But if you're still here at this point, like I want you to understand that like, if those are your words, if that's how you want to phrase that, I mutilated my body, the key word in that phrase is mine, right? Like, this is my body. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did what I wanted to do to my body. And I'm very happy with it. And my husband loves it. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm good, like, great over here. And I really, like, thank you to everybody. Thank you to the haters that's going to watch this video and get me paid off of it. And thank you to the people who are watching it genuinely to get information and all of the things, because y'all are the reason why I keep creating these videos, because there were so many questions that I had going into this surgery that I didn't feel like were answered, and especially not answered as it pertains to like a Black woman's perspective. If y'all have more questions, please drop these questions in the comment box below, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if y'all want more content like this. I have a lot of amazing videos that I'm going to be releasing and time capsuling and all this other stuff, just so that I can get back into these YouTube streets. I say this every single year, but I also tell y'all not to hold it to my head or my heart, because I'm also a professional educator out in these streets. So a lot of the time, the education that I do around trans rights, Black and brown people's rights, women's rights, and all of that stuff takes precedence over making videos and editing videos. And because it is just me and my assistant is not paid to edit videos, you know, I have my stints, but right now I have a lot of things going that allow me a little bit more free time to record for y'all, which is why y'all are getting this video, and y'all are getting it on time, God damn it, okay? Y'all are getting this video on time, and I'm so proud of myself because, yeah. But I fixed my sound quality, okay? I fixed my sound quality. This video is not sponsored, but I got me a DJI mic set. I don't want to open up the other one because it'll automatically cut on, and then I'll probably have 2 sound waves going, and I don't want to do that. But this sound box is from DJI, and I absolutely love it because it is sound and noise canceling. So anything that is not my voice that is happening in this room, I was washing clothes and all of that stuff, y'all can't hear none of that, because I'm doing better with that. Y'all see my lighting setup, y'all see my camera setup, y'all see how I'm doing. Y'all see how I'm coming into 2023. Don't act like y'all don't see it. You bum bitches know, you dirty bum bitch. I'm just kidding. My little Nicki Minaj moment. But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning into this video. I will continue to keep y'all posted as things happen or as things change. And as you all come up with more questions to ask me about it, I understand that it's the never-ending story, the story that never ends around questions surrounding this. And especially because I'm one of the very few Black women on YouTube creating content around this particular topic. So feel free to drop them in there. And if I get enough questions, I will obviously make another video answering those questions. But this has been my year update with my SRS surgery with Dr. Jude Apoku out of Philly, and I hope that it was helpful to some of y'all, just like I hope that my first 2 videos were helpful. And we're gonna keep rocking this thing out. Bye, everybody.